My brother tried to steal my father's entire estate by claiming the family heirloom was a cheap replica, so I let him take it, and then I sent him the real bill. My brother, Silas, didn't realize that as a senior estate appraiser for a top-tier auction house, I don't just look at art, I look at the molecular structure of the canvas. When our father passed away in June, Silas didn't wait for the funeral to end before he brought in his own appraiser. He gathered the family and announced his fair division. Dad's 18th century landscape painting is a high-quality print, he said, holding up a fake certificate. It's worth maybe $500. I'll take that as a memento, and Mark can have Dad's old rundown workshop. Silas thought I was the emotional one who wouldn't check the math. He was wrong. The first thing I tracked was the swap. I noticed Silas visiting Dad's house at 3 a.m. 2 days after the funeral. I checked the doorbell camera. Documented. He was carrying a large rectangular frame wrapped in bubble wrap. He was swapping the original $250,000 masterpiece for a $200 reproduction he bought on eBay. The second thing I tracked was the silver. Silas claimed the family's sterling was silver-plated and worthless. I ran a secret acid test on one of the spoons he left behind. It was 99% pure. He'd already moved the real set to a storage unit he didn't tell the lawyers about. Documented. The third thing was the paper trail. Silas tried to hide Dad's private ledger, the one that listed the serial numbers for the rare coin collection. I found it tucked behind a loose brick in the workshop he gifted me. I didn't call the police. I didn't stop the estate sale. I waited for Silas to host his grand reopening at his new gallery. He'd invited half the city's elite to show off the masterpiece he'd inherited. I walked in with the local sheriff and a UV spectrometer. When Silas stood up to brag about the painting's provenance, I stepped forward. Silas, for your grand opening, I wanted to give you an official appraisal. I hit the switch on the UV light. The painting on the wall glowed bright purple, the unmistakable sign of modern synthetic pigments used in cheap fakes. I pulled up my phone and projected the doorbell footage of him carrying the fake into Dad's house at 3 a.m. The room went dead silent. Silas's face went the color of a ghost. It's a mistake, he stammered. Mark is just jealous. I pulled out the original ledger. No, Silas. You stole a fake. I moved the real painting to a climate-controlled vault the day Dad died. I knew you'd try something, so I left a gift for you to find. I handed him a legal folder. It wasn't an appraisal. It was a formal lawsuit for estate fraud and grand larceny. I'd already alerted the IRS about the silver-plated set he'd sold under the table for $50,000 in cash. The sheriff escorted him out in front of his biggest clients. I kept the workshop, the silver, and the real painting. Silas got a public reputation as a fraud and a 3-year court battle he can't afford. Am I the jerk for letting my brother steal a fake just to catch him in 4K?